Sponsored by Degenerates. What's happening, people? You're tuning in to Comedy by Coincidence. I think it's episode 163. Pretty sure. What's happening, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's Chris Davis coming to you live from Davis Studios North. Hanging out with my favorite comedian over there, the Mormon Foreman, the Florida Panther. I had this. The family time is gambling time. It's Ty Young.
What up?
How's it going, brother?
Oh, living my best G-Gen life in Las Vegas.
G-Gen, yeah. Good
Yeah,
gen.
yeah.
That's
The
so
casinos here are not kind. They're not kind. Don't come here. Don't come here. I don't know. It's fun. It's just like any amusement park ride, except it's at a table. So yeah.
There's ups, there's downs, there's in betweens, there's there's loop de loops.
Yep.
Barrel
exactly.
rolls. How was seeing the family?
It was great. They landed. I got their hotel room. That's my Christmas gift to them.
Oh, that was really sweet.
If you fly out to where I'm at, I'll organize a place for you to stay and I'll pay for it. That's not a problem.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We went to a place called Omega Mart.
Oh yeah.
Which is it's an attraction by a group called Meow Wolf, and I
love Meow Wolf.
They did up this grocery store in a really cool way, and a whole bunch of fake products that you could buy and all that. There's a storyline behind it that you can follow too, but really, my best advice is get stoned and just walk around.
Absolutely, any Meow Wolf, anything is a good time. Adult, kid. If you're going to go as an adult with adults, maybe imbibe a little bit beforehand.
Exactly. They had the storyline thing, which required you to look at computers and stuff. But my buddy and I, we were way too stoned to read, so we left that to my parents, and we didn't finish out the storyline. Or whatever, but I ain't gonna tell you about the storyline.
No, you gotta go
to
see
Meow Wolf yourself.
Exactly. But that's cool. That sounds way less gambly than I thought it would be with the family. That's good.
Oh, my parents don't gamble. They're upright people.
Good.
Everybody who's ever met my parents are amazed they raised me. They don't know how it happened. There was a glitch in the Matrix when I came out, so. But that's not. That was a fun day. It was a great time. We ate dinner down at Fremont Street and just walked through there real quick. While it was daylight out, I wasn't going to expose them to the debauchery of the devil's dick hanging out in the middle of the night.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad as it used to be, straight up, because we were down there multiple nights. Because, that's where, if you're running low on the funds, you get cheaper gambling down on Fremont Street. So
Exactly.
not as debaucherous as sometimes. I did see somebody shit themselves. I mean, it's how it goes. But
yeah, that's Las Vegas. I think it's a coordinated shitting sometimes because it's like in different. Like I've been downtown on Fremont Street and I had a friend over on the Strip, and almost the same time we saw somebody shit themselves. So it's like
coordinated
it must
effort.
be.
And I think it's a timely. You're right. I think it's a timed out event because not even 2 minutes later, guy was out there with the mop and bucket. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's his shtick. You know. Anyways, carrying on.
I think it's their next. It's Las Vegas' next advertising campaign. So much fun, you'll shit yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So where are you staying?
I'm at the Orleans Hotel and Casino.
Okay, the Orleans, bro.
The Orleans.
Is that down on Fremont?
No, that's just down the road from New York, and the Excalibur and all that.
Okay,
Like
so you're on that end, closer to New York, Excalibur. What's the other
Luxor,
one? Monterey Bay.
Mandalay Bay.
Luxor is one of my favorites. I'm glad you're not staying there because rooms are cheaper, but you're likely to fucking off yourself. So
where?
At the Luxor, bro, that place hella haunted, and it just had some. It has a history of people dying there and offing themselves because they have indoor balconies that go into the atrium. So a lot of people literally, and it's pyramid shaped, right? Yeah. So the balconies are in that pyramid shape too, and the higher up you are, the closer you are to jumping off in the middle of the atrium where everybody's at below. In fact, they just had somebody do that here this fall sometime. I want to say in like October. But, yeah, I'd say at least 3 or 4 confirmed suicides in there. Right on to the Blue Man Group, bro. Like,
I was just thinking about this the other day on the drive into work. Because it was 6:30 in the morning, and that's when I get really like dark in my thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
Like the casinos, the incentive is to not advertise when somebody kills themselves because
that's why so many
people
go undocumented.
Yeah, it's advertising, but it's like how many bodies just appear in a Las Vegas hotel room? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Or end up in Lake Mead from various hotel rooms that don't want to report. Anyway.
Oh yeah. And it's like, this is the only place where I've ever stayed where they openly advertise, hey, if you don't let us into the room 2 days in a row, we will come in and check and make sure you're alive. Most places it's like, we'll figure it out when you check out. We'll deal with the body later. But here they're like, no. We can't let that shit smell.
And then, okay, so you took the family to Meow Wolf. Or vicinity of, what else did you end up doing with them? You hit Fremont Street, you took them to a nice dinner, you got them a room.
Yep. And then that night, I took them to what is advertised as the world's worst open mic, and boy, did it not disappoint.
Did you go up?
Oh, yeah, I got up. We'll get into that. But I also invited my boss and his wife and a couple coworkers. So it was like I brought in an audience and every other comic was just a comic,
So if it's a bringer show, for sure, you get a little bit of authority, right? Not authority, but preference, right?
Yeah, but I signed up in advance, made sure I went like 5th, 6th, 7th. So that way we're not there all night. Because this is one of those, it could last until 1 a.m. It could last until midnight. They could go until 3. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, exactly.
So first off, it's at a place called the Dive Bar. That is its name, and it is a dive bar. Smoking allowed inside, so I didn't look that up. So my mom, like, her eyes were watering the entire time. She doesn't like that. Neither does my boss, so I felt bad about that. But it's one of those first couple of comics get up, 1 or 2 had a couple good jokes, but it was you can tell by the clap at the end if it was a pity clap or all right, you had something there. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you get something there?
Yeah, and it's the comics. They were all doing that whole New Year, new joke fucking excuse.
Right.
And I just wanted to slap them all. And it's like, that doesn't fucking
Give you the
matter.
excuse to suck.
Yeah, just stop trying to give yourself an out and sit in the bomb. You know what I mean? Just wallow
take
in
it
it.
in. Just take it in, bro. Get out of it. It's half the fun.
Yeah. So I got up there and I pulled out the shots because mom was watching,
Right.
She's never seen me do stand up before, so it was one of those like, all right, so I gotta prove myself here. Same with my boss and his wife, and a couple of my coworkers.
Yeah, because you're splitting in the evenings to go do this. You gotta not go
exactly
do the worst set ever.
Yeah, and I did pretty good. Good unanimously amongst my group. Either they're jerking me off, or they said I was the best comic that they saw there. I'm gonna take it as they were not lying, because that's what I believe as well.
Good.
And then there was like one or two that were like actual working comics who were actually working stuff out. I give them a pass because based off of the conversations I overheard, they're doing a spot at the Godfathers a couple days later. You know what I mean? They were working an actual club, so it's like, okay, you're actually trying to sort some shit out
before you have a bigger date. I get that. Okay.
Yeah, and I get it. And it was a fun time. It was a good time. I'll probably never go back to that open mic ever again because it was not worst. Good.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it advertised as the worst open mic in the world, and they started about 45 minutes late. So, yeah, not good.
Where was it at?
It was at the Dive Bar. Gotcha. It's kind of northern Vegas. Actually, no, it's over by UNLV. It's just a couple blocks off the campus there. And it was the Uber driver, like the Uber system, not the driver. The system wanted to drop us off behind the bar, in that little creepy alleyway where it's the service entrance and stuff. And we pull up, and there's like 5 or 6 crackheads just chilling out, nodding off into oblivion of drugs and all that. And our driver just looked at us and was like, I don't think you're supposed to be here. And we're like, we agree.
Good.
This is terrifying.
Take us around the front, please. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I felt
like,
that when
maybe go around the block.
be getting dropped off by the taxi and on Fremont, be like, no, maybe the front of the casino.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it was a good time. But that was the only open mic I got in this week.
But that's a fun one to get the fam and boss to see. That's cool.
Yeah. And they were a good time. I appreciate them coming out. I'm glad they laughed at my jokes. Boss heard a couple of them already because when he's having a shitty day, I go in and I say a joke just to brighten up the mood. I mean, like, come on, man.
Totally.
We all know HR ain't real. That was so that's the main event that's happened in Las Vegas. Other than working, gambling and stuff.
Okay,
but I'm going to take us back just a little bit because there is another open mic I went to while I was in Washington, D.C. visiting some friends. It was at Original Grinds Coffee. Yeah, Original Grinds Coffee Shop in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Ooh.
It was a pretty good show. We stayed for the entire show. It was an early show. It started at 6:30, got out about 8:30 or so. I messed up my set there. A couple of punchlines were messed up. I fubbed up a line, and then the XLR cable fell out of the mic mid set, ruined all the momentum I was building, all the cadence, timing, everything just ruined. I resisted the urge to fucking yell at myself, "You fucking idiot!"
It happens.
And
shit happens, dude.
Yeah. The thing that's driving me nuts, and I've yet to look at the video, is did my like hand bump the cable or did it just fall the fuck out? You know what I mean?
That's why we don't drop mics, guys. Because the more you drop a mic, the shittier those connections get, and then you end up like Ty, where XLR falls straight out of a mic like that. That's terrible. Awesome.
Like mid joke, I forgot like 4 taglines, a couple punchlines that I was gonna go with because that cable fell out mid joke, and it was like, all right, well, we're not doubling back. I was scrambling for something. I went down a route I should have never gone down because there's no punchline to that thought yet, and it's just it was not my proudest moment. I'm frankly embarrassed because all right, Trevor and Sam came out, and then also my old professor and his wife came out. Fantastic people. You know, I'll visit them every couple of years. Yeah, you want a good
set for your professor, you know. Because you're tied with them, you've probably told them you're doing this, and you don't want to go bomb in front of your people. Hey, I'm doing a podcast.
I wouldn't say I bombed, but it definitely was not my proudest work. I'll say that.
You got something to say to the people? Do you guys see this cat on my lap? She is not leaving me alone. We got another one who's chilling with Dr. Evil. Tremendous. What are we doing here? Don't eat the mic. Don't eat the mic. That's not food. You know what? I'm gonna be real, guys. There's a little bit of puke on this mic, and this one loves eating puke, especially if it's her sister's. Woo! After meal special.
Ew.
It is pretty gross. She's a little sweetheart, as you can see, and she's the sweetest little baby. But as soon as food is introduced, she goes into wolf mode, and like she vacuums the food. It's crazy, dude. And then immediately, like as soon as she's done, she goes and tries to take all of her sister's food. It's kind of a wild little chunk. But anyways, well, cool, man. What casinos have you been gambling at? And you know.
Well, I started this trip. We were staying at the Show Hotel at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino, about 20-30 minutes away from the Strip.
Gotcha.
And for work reasons, it was like, this ain't gonna fucking work. We're too far. One accident on the 15, we're all hosed. You know. Yeah. So we switched over. I only gambled like $20 there. You know, I'm gonna be honest.
Fair.
And I was just like, you know what, $20, hour of enjoyment, cheaper than a movie. We'll go with it.
Yeah, letting $20 ride an hour, great, tremendous. You know.
But then 2 nights ago, I was at the New Orleans, and not the New Orleans, the Orleans, which is our current hotel.
Right.
Pulled out $100. Lost that, pulled out another $100, and then I made that ride like probably 5 hours, 6 hours. You know, just free entertainment. Well, not free, but you know what I mean? Like, you hop on that roller coaster, you see how far it takes you. It took me about 6-7 hours, and then I walked out of the casino and was like, oh, fuck, I got to go to work in 2 hours. So,
oh, no.
Yeah. So yeah, I was dead.
I haven't done Vegas and work at the same time yet. So hopefully, like, I would love to do a show down there. That'd be fun. I feel like that'd be a different level of gambling because you're gambling, and if you lose track, the more gambling you do, you lose track of your time. And as you said, you got done and had 2 hours left before you had to be at the place. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yep. So that was that. Yesterday was a long day.
But you were just at the Orleans. You weren't going and checking out any of these other casinos?
Well, see, 2 nights ago was the first night. Like, I got off the plane. in Vegas, and then I felt a tickle in my throat and was like, "Oh fuck, here we go." And it was like I survived my parents being here, and then they left, and then immediately after they left, it was like full blown cold.
Body giving
like
up
snot,
on me. Yeah, it's like, oh,
yeah,
finally,
snot coming out of me, coughing up crap left and right. So I had to spend a day or two just doing absolutely nothing. Otherwise, I wasn't going to survive.
I understand. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad that the family trip was a success. I'm glad you haven't lost all your money yet. New York was my favorite one just for the scenery. Right next to New York was where we stayed. If you're in, but it's no smoking over there. But that was Park MGM. That was kind of cool.
Okay.
My other favorites are the Paris, and let's see, you gotta go see the Bellagio, but you get over by the Bellagio, all those ones that are like Caesar's Palace, Bellagio, Venetian, they all feel, obviously they're all different themed, right? But they all kind of feel the fucking same, and all really hoity-toity high-end shit,
That's my problem with those casinos, like the Bellagio, the Venetian, all the ones on the northern side of the strip.
Yeah.
You're not gambling there. That your table minimums there start at $50 the last time I walked through there 10 years ago.
I saw a $300 min at, I think it was either Venetian or Bellagio. However, at Bellagio and the Link and only a few other places I saw this. Definitely Bellagio. Was it Bellagio where they had the horse racing game? Yeah, bro. Okay, the electronic games I like?
Yeah.
I'm not talking slots. I'm talking like you sit down, you put your money in, and you can play some like virtual baccarat, this and that, poker, roulette, that and that's. They have these ones where it's 8 of those all surrounding a horse track, and you can it's like virtual horse betting shit. Okay, not like actual go to the sports betting room and bet on the horses, which is also fun. But this was like a race every 30 seconds electronically with the electronic game style. And bro, the first night I was there, I won like $125 off that. It was insane. That'll never happen again. But I like that one because, the electronic mins are normally like $3 mins or $5 mins, which is already pretty cheap. These are $1 minimum bets.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, dude. You can have a lot of fun making it ride for hours on that game. I did meet a Vegas local who I watched spend way too much money on that same game, too, though. And I was like, what do you do again? That's a lot. He's like, oh, I just lost my job. This is how I'm making my money right now. I was like, oh, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, you had a glimpse of the sunny side of Vegas.
Yeah. Let's see here.
It's just Vegas is one of those towns where the temptation is so real. Like, if I had an Uber driver phrase it this exact way: if you're into drugs, gambling, or whoremongering, Vegas is not the place for you, because you can find any of those within 5 seconds.
Yeah, in a mile of your location. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But again, my favorite's still New York, Paris, and the Luxor.
Now,
Luxor, the side you're on is all the cheap ones. So like Luxor, Excalibur, even to a degree, New York. The tablemans are pretty reasonable over there on your side. So
okay,
I do recommend getting out of just the Orleans and seeing some of the other stuff. I like a good themed casino. I do.
Go ahead.
They're going out of style, the themed casinos, but I like a good one, Anyways.
Yeah. That's the plan today. I got to go get myself a Las Vegas patch for my patch collection and some stickers and all that. So, I got to hit up some random gift shops.
Bro, if you're doing gift shopping today, may I recommend go over to the New York, go across the fucking street where you'll see like the giant M&M factory. Just do a quick walkthrough of like a couple of those shops over there. There's an M&M factory, worth it. A Coca-Cola bottling thing, worth it. I mean,
are you talking like the Miracle Mile shops or whatever?
Yeah, I guess that's what it's called. Like between New York on the other side, and going all the way to like Planet Hollywood. Oh fuck, the Rainforest Cafe is at Planet Hollywood. How could I forget about that, bro? If you really need to experience the Rainforest Cafe like we talked about, bro, you got one in your town. You know,
right I've debated heavily on this ever since I announced I was going to Vegas to you, and you've mentioned the Rainforest Cafe. I've decided not to go because why go to the Rainforest Cafe when I know that in July of this year I will be in Brazil going to the actual Rainforest Cafe. You know what I mean? The rainforest.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
I thought
I will say, if you need a cheap meal, cheapish, it's like normal American. Like, think of Applebee's prices. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll throw that out there when it seems like every fucking casino has the most bougie, fucking most expensive meal ever. It's a good spot. So
I mean, I'll walk by and I'll be like, I'll snap a picture for you, but
no, you ain't got
animatronic animals freak me out.
Yeah,
they really do. They really do.
You wouldn't enjoy it then. Yeah, don't. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you're having a good Vegas trip. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you got a fucking Vegas open mic in with the fam. That's fun. It's a huge deal.
Dude.
I got some special news too that we're officially announcing the new band Betty's Promise on social media. And we need to get a little bit of a following behind us so that when we start messaging venues and trying to get shows ourselves here in a month or two, we got a little bit of a social media following to say, hey, no, there's people interested in this. Please let us play a show here. So if you're watching this, go on Facebook, Instagram. Hopefully we'll have a fucking Instagram by the time this airs. And follow Betty's Promise for me, okay? Our newest rock band kills with me on guitar and vocals, Kelly on bass and vocals, and Mr. Dan Sodoma on drums. And I'm really excited about it.
Excellent.
So, new Facebook page officially up. And logo made, and need to get some band
Betty's
photos
Promise
taken here. Betty's Promise. You got it, dude.
Betty spelled the traditional 1950s Betty, or did you add
No, you're absolutely on it. You're totally on it.
All right. Just making sure. Things got weird with names in the last decade.
Yeah, Betty with a B-E-T-T-I. Betty.
Yeah.
Betty's Promise.
Yeah, other than the great band announcements, which we'll repeat at the end of the episode, what else you got? Like, what else you got going on there, Chris?
It was, I'm sure you didn't have to deal with this. It was Snowpocalypse over here, which is why we didn't get an episode out last week, guys. Ty was obviously busy with his fam, and that's great. It was left to Chris. I'm taking full responsibility, but we're blaming the weather. I was supposed to get a backup guest. I did bring it up to Mr. Ryan Schweitzer. Shout out Ryan Schweitzer, who was game. We found out Sunday that Ty was with the fam. We couldn't pull off our normal time. I hollered at Schweitzer. He's like, "Yeah, if the weather ain't shit, we'll take care of it tomorrow." Sunday, it snowed and rained and iced. We had like 4 layers of ice in between 3 layers of snow. It was dumb. Like, and your boy forgot for a second that he has responsibilities and lawn clients and old people who rely on him. So the second it stopped snowing, I got all these calls. I forgot my place, and I had to fucking go do driveways Monday through Wednesday, even though every road, every highway in Missouri was unpassable for a solid 2 days. Am I right, Dr. Evil? I'm not making this shit up?
Yes, that is correct.
Like, if on the MoDOT Missouri, like, traffic map, purple was unpassable, the whole state was purple. It was pretty bad. And your boy was out driving in it, getting from one end of St. Louis to the other, knocking out all my normal lawn's driveways because it was terrible. It was so fucking much ice. It was like 3 inches of ice, just chipping away at an inch after inch. And I have some really long driveways I had to deal with. So it was like that Monday through Wednesday. Mr. Ryan Schweitzer could not even get out of his subdivision for 2 days. It was like all of St. Louis was closed, except for the fast food. I was amazed at how many fast food places stayed open, which was actually causing fucking problems on Manchester Road, too, because people were... Culver's is in the most inconvenient location in general. And with all that snow and ice, I saw like 3 people stuck trying to get out of Culver's and blocking up the westbound traffic by like a mile. It was nuts. So, sort of on me for not having an ex... What? Go ahead.
You worked fast food, right?
I have worked fast food.
Basement? You ever noticed the basement in some of these places where they just like kidnap those people whenever there's a snowstorm?
Yes. Yeah, and you got to stay there. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You ain't riding the bus home. You know you just staying clocked in for the next 48 hours.
Hey, we have 2 bunks in the basement. Yeah. Pull them out. Anyways.
Yeah. You might want to wash the sheets.
What's up with that, dude? Shout out to anybody who was out working in that shit. That was terrible. We pretty much had like a 1 or 2 day work week, me and Dr. Evil, because I think she went back to work Tuesday through Thursday, and then she worked from home on Friday. It's not like she took the day off, but I had to do virtual lessons every day but Monday, because Monday the system was down. Oh, fuck yeah. Dr. Evil sent us some stuff. We'll get to it when we do news, I guess, you know. Oh, okay. I guess there is a snow-related something we need to talk about. Hold on, shit. We're going to do a real news segment here in a second, but per Dr. Evil.
Man, this is... I go to Indianapolis next week, and this is not brightening up my day.
What? You going to Indy?
Yeah. With all the snow and stuff. You know, I'm going to be with 3 or 4 people that have never driven in snow before.
The St. Louis City Sheriff files. Come on, doggy. There's no... We'll do news here in a little bit, gang.
Sorry. I thought there was a traffic one in there. That's
No, that's okay. What else is new? New band announcement. New logo was made. Yeah, I don't got a whole lot. Everything's... Oh, we got these 2 kittens over here that are driving us wild. A whole lot of affection and neediness going on over here. And then
don't feed into it, bro.
Our oldest cat, Oscar, had a little bit of a medical emergency Thursday. And that was scary and emotionally draining, but he is back home. He's got a little bit of a bladder inflammation thing going on and some kidney stones. And we're working on it, and he's feeling a lot more comfortable. We'll put it that way, and he's back home. So what's important. But that being said, we're kind of keeping the small fries separate from the big guy for a little bit longer while he's kind of recouping. And it has not been easy. Because these guys want it, they want to go everywhere you don't want them to go. That's the deal with kittens, apparently. So,
yeah.
What?
Well, I was just wondering if Oscar, the podcast terrorist, has decided to start his secret training camp or not. And it seems like
it is.
Yes, it's a success.
Absolutely.
He's instructing from under the door.
Radicalizing the youth of them, for sure. But, yeah, so Snowpocalypse, we survived. No cars were destroyed or anything. We did lose a windshield wiper to some ice. That's all right. Whatever. But, yeah, good luck in Indianapolis, because it's supposed to be... I bet it'll have melted a decent amount off by then. It got kind of warm again today and yesterday. But then it's supposed to drop into the teens again next week. So.
Yeah, and last I looked at the forecast for Indianapolis last week, there was scheduled snow next week. So
Shit. Well, good luck.
Yep.
Good luck. Bring your snow boots. How warm has it been down there for you on average?
Here in Vegas, last night it got down to like 32.
Oh,
but
shit.
The rest, yeah, for the most part, it's been hovering around 50s, 60s. You know,
So it's
down
not like
in Florida,
not like hot, but
yeah,
not cold.
not
cold.
hot, but that desert cold that just like eats straight into your bones
Really?
because it's so dry. Yeah.
Never experienced that. The coldest it got was like 72 at midnight when I was down there. It'd be like 110 during the days. So.
Yeah, but you guys come during the summer and spring.
Well, yeah, we did try to go later this year. It was just an abnormally hot. It was like what, September we went? Yeah. And then the time before that, we went during the monsoon season, which I don't know when the fuck that. I think it was like May, July, June or July. I have no fucking idea. But it was abnormal because they were like, even in the monsoon season, it doesn't rain like this. It was raining every day we were down there the first time. I was here for it. It was like keeping it nice and cool and cloudy, no sunburns.
Nice. That's good. It's just I don't know. I'm Florida's ruined me. I don't have a thick skin anymore for the cold. You know.
Yeah. After snow shoveling for 3 days straight and like 10 degrees, I'm down. 32 felt like heaven yesterday. I was like, wow, let me lose a few layers. Jeez, wow. So. All right, let's do some comedy news. Dr. Evil did hook us up on some good stories here. As far as comedy news, 50 Cent to host a Super Bowl comedy block party in New Orleans.
Fuck yeah.
When was this announced? January 10th? Okay. This is after the last week ripped. The New Orleans was hit by a terrorist. Well, how do we address? I don't know what they're calling it, but definitely a crazy person driving through the streets and taking a bunch of people out. So this comes on the heel of that. Fox 8 reported 50 Cent will perform a comedy show in New Orleans the weekend of Super Bowl. Super Bowl comedy block party will occur February 9th, one day before the Super Bowl. DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, veteran comedian Bill Bellamy taking a backseat for this production as the rappers just completed Vegas residency. Oh. The veteran entertainer is taking a backseat for this production as the rapper has just completed a Vegas residency. On December 27th, the rapper began performing at the Planet Hollywood inside the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. It is reported the star earned $15 million for 6 live shows. While the rapper's catalog is full of popular tunes, nostalgia did not save his show from criticism. Black Enterprise reported the fan criticism that began on the first day of the residency. Posted, Jesus, I'm having a hard time. I've seen 50 Cent perform in warehouses in Memphis decades ago, and it was pure magic. His limited time residency in Las Vegas was the opposite of that. The sound was poorly balanced, making it impossible to hear the performance. His hype men were unrelenting and overbearing, making it difficult to hear anything. What you thought I was going to be out here rollerblading like Usher and shit? I seen some shit where Chris Brown was flying in Africa. I don't have records that require me to fly in Africa. I like that response.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means either. Shout out 50 Cent. Okay. So, Super Bowl comedy block party with 50 Cent. Fun? Question mark?
I don't know. I'm supposed to go to New Orleans in I think March or April of this year. So, it'll be interesting.
Speaking of New Orleans news, literally they had the terror attack in New Orleans on like January 1st, right? So we're coming at this a little late. Literally the day after it happened on Legion of Skanks, they announced that Skankfest 2025 will be held in New Orleans. I think they're doing it in November or December of next year, like a whole ass year away.
Ooh, okay.
But the reason for it being so late this year is so that they're not going mid-hurricane season. Smart,
that makes sense.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. But New Orleans for Skankfest 2025.
In December, you say?
I think it's November. Late November.
I hope it's at the end of November.
It is. I think it's towards the end of November.
Excellent, because your boy's going to be fresh off a China trip, and he's going to need to hear some ridiculousness.
Did you say a China trip?
Oh, yeah. I'm scheduled to go to China this year, bro.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Let's party.
Oh, no. In other news, this is some St. Louis City local news I did want to bring to our attention because I thought you'd find it funny. St. Louis City Sheriff files for restraining order against outgoing sheriff. The new St. Louis sheriff accuses former sheriff Vernon Betts, this is the former one, or his deputies of taking documents from the office. Today, we're spending our entire day figuring out what's missing, new Sheriff Alfred Montgomery said. Montgomery described a hectic start to the year as he took office. He alleges papers and furniture were missing and was never given important credentials when he took office. Access codes we don't have to evidence, so it's prolonging the court's process. There's a possibility a mistrial could happen. Anything could happen, Sheriff Montgomery said. On New Year's Eve, go ahead.
No. You finish.
You want to hear the whole thing. I understand. On New Year's Eve, Montgomery filed for a temporary restraining order against the outgoing sheriff, Betts. In the days leading up to Montgomery's oath of office, Betts and his regular deputies are accused of intimidating deputies, denying Montgomery access to the property room, and taking documents and file cabinets from the building. Files to deputies, we don't know if there's files to citizens, we don't know. There's a huge concern, Montgomery said. When asked, Betts said he and his team coming up with a whole lot of hocus pocus. Betts said Sheriff Montgomery can just simply look at the security tapes if he thinks someone took something. There's no way you can go in or out with anything like a cabinet. Now, of course, I had stuff in my personal file and just a whole lot of papers. The request for the restraining order was heard on Thursday. Before the hearing took place, a judge ordered the property room to be closed and locked until Montgomery took office. In Thursday's hearing, Montgomery's attorney still had not filed a proper petition, saying they are still making stock of everything that might be missing. When Fox asked, Montgomery admitted this motion was premature.
Why is it every time the cops have been accused, they pull out that word hocus pocus? You know what I mean? Like, the only time I ever hear it is in reference to the Great Halloween movie or when a cop is saying something's made up.
See, what I liked...
It seems organized and suspicious, just throwing it out there.
What I liked was the outgoing guy was like, yeah, what am I going to do? Take a whole file cabinet? But I did take some files, though.
Now, did I take some of my personal files?
Now, did I take some files, my files, and other paperwork? Yes.
Yes, but not a whole ass file
not
cabinet.
A whole cabinet.
That's bullshit.
and also, he was like, they should just check the tapes, but they don't have the codes to the tapes because he didn't give them over.
Right.
I also like that at the end they were like, yeah, we did kind of jump the gun a little bit with the restraining order, I suppose.
Yeah, it might have been a little
I might have been a
premature.
little hasty in filing the restraining order.
So, that's
besides, if like a mistrial happens because of this, just arrest his ass for obstruction of justice. Obstruction of justice. They do that to people all the fucking time.
Right.
What's the problem? He ain't a sheriff no more.
It just doesn't look good when you're arrested. Yeah. Anyways, I understand.
No, it's his next campaign promise. Stop the corruption. I started with the sheriff. We're going to the top.
Let's see. And then Miss Nikki Glazer hosted the Golden Globe Awards. And
Finally, a comedian that could actually pull it off. Just saying it.
And I heard it went pretty well. My thing is, there was one article I was reading. It is not this one that Dr. Evil sent me. That was like, what I learned from Joe Coy's bombing. And it was like, a quote from her was, "I couldn't believe what I was watching." They made it seem like she learned how to do it by watching him fail, kind of thing. Which, true, probably a little true, right? Take notes.
However, Joe Coy had 10 days. I'm sure she had 6 months.
Right.
Big difference. Big difference in prep time.
Did you see some of the other ones I sent?
Those are the 3 I got.
Alrighty.
In addition to those 3, I've got a couple others that... Okay, Ty, sorry. Go for it.
I was just going to announce some comedy specials. New year, new special. Kyle Kinane is on Hulu with a new special, Dirt Nap. I like Kyle Kinane. He's pretty funny. If you like exaggerated stories, he's up your alley. Then you got the great Doug Stanhope. His specials on YouTube. I know we announced it a while ago, but I'm saying it again because Doug's awesome. And Doug, I apologize. Mr. Stanhope is awesome. And then, let me see here. Ari Shaffir. His next 2 comedy specials will be on Netflix, as well as Ari Shaffir's Jew is moving to Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend you check it out.
And then his next special, America's Sweetheart, is coming out here soon on Netflix, too. So keep your eyes peeled for that and watch it. Support our favorite Jew up there. New York, wherever he is.
And then, you got Sal Volcano's special, Terrible, that he put out a month ago that we mentioned. That's going to be also on, I think that's on Netflix. If you like the Impractical Jokers, he's part of that crew. And then, there's a whole bunch of other comedians that are just coming up, whose names I'm going to mention, but you probably never heard of. Martin Urbano, Apology Comeback Special. He was a Tonight Show writer and all that stuff, so check that out. And then Angelina Johnson-Reyes, Say I Won't. She's a pretty funny comedian. And honestly, the picture I'm looking at with her in a leather motorcycle jacket, sexy. Just saying.
Okay.
And just talking about growing older as a woman and all that. So, and those are the 2 names I want to mention right now. Well, hold on. There was one more name. Yes, Adam Ray. Adam Ray. You've seen him on Kill Tony. You've seen him from the Dr. Phil impersonation. He has a special on Hulu. Like and subscribe. It's pretty funny. I would check it out. And then Al Madrigal. Al Madrigal is like he's been in the game for a while. Never really got the props I think he's due.
Yeah.
He has a special on Hulu called Shrimping Ain't Easy. So I would check those out.
Right on.
You must have been sick. You sick for a while. You got so many fucking specials down.
Oh yeah, I was down.
Last minute housekeeping news notes. Our first round of comedians whose houses have got in the fires just came out. Pete Lee was among comedians who lost their house in the recent fires, along with Dion Cole, who you may know as being the Old Spice guy. He had just gotten out of the hospital, and then he went home to find that he had to flee. Yeah, ain't that a son of a gun? Comedian and podcast host Jim Short has passed away at the age of 58. And lastly, but not leastly, and a lighter note to follow up on a piece of news that we've been following for a time, comedian Shane Gillis says Nick Saban was angry over, quote, game day joke about paying players. So most of that we had already kind of covered at this point, but basically Shane has gotten back has come back out after Nick Saban made his recent quote, popping off a little bit. He basically said that if he didn't think that it had been a joke, that he would not. He said, "quote I would have never done that if I thought he was serious." So Shane goes on to say, I went up to him after and he was like, "You think SEC dominated because he cheated? That's bullshit. He spazzed on me." After that, Saban was looking to get off the raised platform the game day table was on inside Notre Dame Stadium, with only Shane Gillis around to offer him assistance. Quote, after he yelled at me, I had to help him down, and he looked around to see if anybody else could help him, but I had to help him down. I felt really bad about that.
And this is why coaches shouldn't be given a microphone after every statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, the meatheads really could use a second to think things through.
Exactly.
So, but that was pretty funny. And Shane and Matt and Shane talk about it on Matt and Shane's secret podcast this last week when they were cosmically reunited for the first time. It feels like forever. So, if you want to hear more of Shane's take on that, go check it out. And we got somebody shitting in the studio. CP? Okay, well, that's good. At least it won't be as...
Today's podcast is brought to you by Febreze Cat Shit.
Ozium. Straight the fuck up. Let's see here. It's your week for Savage of the Week, for sure. For sure.
It is my week for the Savage of the Week, and for the first time ever, I'm going to give it to my parents. All right?
Shout out.
They Youngs. came out to Vegas, came to see me. You know, I'm really happy they did. I'm glad they had a great time. The savagery comes from mom's going through a couple medical things, so we didn't know if she was going to make it out or not. And she toughed through and, came out and made my heart really happy. So she's the Savage of the Week for willing to do that. That's kind of a tough ask.
Yeah.
So I appreciate her for coming out and seeing me. This is going to be, Savage for sitting through the airport and all the airplane and everything to do that. So, yeah.
Shout out Miss Ty Young's mom.
I mentioned it earlier. She really does not like being in spaces where there's cigarette smoke, and the fact that she hung out in the dive bar for a while, I think there was 10 different comedians just smoking a stove or whatever. There was just cigarette smoke in the air. The fact that she stuck it out, that's
what
awesome
my son wants to do.
Thank you, my mom.
I'm staying here. Yeah, and she's got medical stuff going on. It's not what she wants to, necessarily. I'm with you, bud. Awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out, Savage of the Week. Getting to go see her son do a comedy set and everything. What you gonna do? What am I gonna do? You see all this kitty I got on my lap? The fuck is?
I mean, it depends. Do you want a Chinese restaurant answer or do you want a Thai answer?
I'm rolling a new pussy. That's what's up.
All right, then. We'll leave it with that.
There you go. Well, Savage of the Week, Miss Ty Young's mom. Way to make it and survive Vegas, everybody. Shout out to anybody who was affected in New Orleans. There was a Vegas fucking bombing while you were there, or while I thought you were there. And I was horrified. Did you have to deal with that at all?
No. Vegas is a town of fucking keeping it going,
Exactly, of resilience, and it never happened.
The worst I've had to do was have conversations. I was at work, maybe 30 minutes before a show starts, and I was just sitting there minding my own business, watching, the floor freeze, and this usher walks up to me, and he just looks around the room, looks at me, looks around the room, and is like, do you ever think how easy it would be to have a shooter incident here? It would be like shooting fish in a barrel. And I'm like, fuck, why'd you do this to me, bro?
Yeah.
We're about to have a whole bunch of families in here, and now I'm going to be concerned that someone's concealed and carrying. I'm concerned you're crazy Because you brought this up and put it out in the universe, you fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like it's on the people of Vegas's mind. They're concerned about it, but also the New Orleans incident had far more deaths, and it was far more tragic in my mind. As far as I'm aware of, the only person who died in the Las Vegas incident was the guy who blew up the car itself.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like, all right, no harm, no foul in a weird way.
Yeah. Listen, if you wanted to destroy a Cybertruck, you didn't have to go through all of that. Just try to put anything on its tow hitch and pull that sucker apart, I'm sure.
Exactly. Or, just go through a puddle.
Yeah. Do a hill. Okay, well, again, our hearts goes out to anybody affected by that, especially the New Orleans one. That one was heartbreaking. So let's try to have a better year and keep on keeping on and finding ways to laugh in the madness, That's why we're here. That's why we still do this every week and why I'm bringing some kiddies to the show, because we need to laugh in the madness, I'm sure, so.
Yeah, we started this week out with a couple of bangs and no fireworks, so we need to get some fireworks going to complement those bangs.
Unless you're in California, no fireworks there, please. Let's calm down on the fire out in California too.
Yeah. Or you could leave California to a state that allows fireworks and you have fun for once. But that's just my opinion.
And then our heart goes out to all the LA comedians who are dealing with the fires and might be terribly affected by this. I mean, sure, some of them might be stupid rich or whatever, but a lot of them are just struggling, trying to find a way to keep their rent or rent-controlled apartment or whatever, So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And think of all the different, low-key comedians who have all of their studios. Everybody's fucking studios in their house. I mean, as evidenced by this, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be a fucking real burn. So, okay. All right. Mad love and respect, everybody. Jesus. Tom, I'm glad you're doing good. Stay healthy. Survive.
Yeah.
Survive.
Hey, hold on. I said we were going to do it earlier. Everybody, you got 2 assignments this week. Yes, this is the Comedy by Coincidence first homework assignment. Betty's Promise, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever the fuck. Like it, subscribe it, do everything you can. Get these guys a show.
All right.
And then also tell your fucking friends.
Tell your friends. Specifically about us, Comedy by Coincidence. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. If my mouse will work, we'll get us out of here. Work, damn it.
I told you it scared too many cats in the room.
Work, damn it. We gotta go hit the transition button. Click it. Click it or take it. Click it or take it.